How's it been going, by the way? And you can be honest with me. How's it been going?
I mean, pretty awesome.
Pretty great? Okay, good.
Yeah, we got real emotional up here.
You were crying?
Well, basically.
Wow.
Yeah,
Rich isn't here, you know, so we can be honest with each other, how we feel.
I gotta be honest with you, though, buddy. This is as packed as I've seen this room all weekend.
Really?
People come to see you. I mean, I thought it was a big crowd, and now I'm like, oh wow.
It's a big crowd. Not, individually, obviously. Okay.
As a unit.
Well,
Enjoy, Mr. Collins.
let's get on with it. Well, mercifully, I'm into polyamory, so this should work out nicely. Thank you. I can't see your faces, so I'm hoping this is good news. Horrible. I am a bad person, but that's okay. Would you like to? It looks like you're poised to ask a question, make a comment, constructive criticism. How are you?
17.
No, I didn't ask how. So, just to be clear, I did not lead with how old you are. I said, how are you? But I understand I'm getting a clear message from you that you are not available, so. I can take a hint. Ew, you creep, I'm 17 here. No, how are you? I didn't mean that. Anyway, bummer though that you're 17. Okay. So, do you have a question?
Yes, I do. Have you ever unintentionally used like Castiel's character traits or expressions outside of work?
Do I ever unintentionally act like an autistic angel? I think probably quite a bit more often than I would like to think. I think that I have certain personality traits that are reflected in my characterization. I don't know if you've seen a lot of the show, but on Supernatural, my character is introduced, and he is this really kind of tough, badass angel that's all, fire and brimstone, and you can tell he will kick your ass at the drop of a hat. And then after a few episodes, the writers kind of adapted the character, I think, because they saw the aspects of the character that I could play more, adeptly, and Castiel very quickly morphed into this sort of sheepish, weird, awkward dork. Which I think I should take offense at, but I don't, because they pay me, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. Hello.
Hi, Misha.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
How old are you?
I'm 21.
Sweet.
Okay.
Wait a minute, I think I'm going to need to see some ID. I'm not going to fall for this. Carry on.
Okay. I think that everything you do with Random Acts and with Gishwas is absolutely incredible, and it's the exact kind of positive influence the world needs.
That is very kind of you to say. Not everything that Gishwas does is magnanimous, though. There are times when I watch people do things that are quite humiliating and horrible, disgusting. Someone brought me a portrait of my own face made of cat hair, I think, today. Was that cat hair? Am I wrong? What? Black cat. So yes, it was a cat. You don't have to correct me. You can just say yes. And it was disgusting, and it's a visage that I will never be able to wipe clear from my mind, unfortunately. Anyway, thank you though for the compliment. And by the way, she's setting a great example. Anyone else wants to follow up with starting their question with a compliment is a good move.
Well, my question is, if you just were given $1 million, how would you spend it?
Erasing that image of cat hair in my face. I'm sure there's some neurosurgeon who could make that go away for the right price. Thank you. Speaking of photos, I took a photo with that image earlier, but a woman brought up a book for the photo session that was a book that I had greatly enjoyed and endorsed last year. It's called We Are Not Ourselves. Who's the person that brought the book up? Where? Do you still have the book with you? Will you come here? What? I don't know what people are saying, and that scares me. I'm doing this not just to embarrass you. I'm doing it also to embarrass my friend who's here, I believe. Matt, are you still here?
Oh my God.
This is my friend Matt, and Matt Thomas wrote this book, which is an amazing, amazing book. Did you like this book?
I loved it. Oh my God. Yeah, you guys should all read it. It was amazing.
That's a very good plug for you, man. I loved it too. I also cried many times when I read it, and I'm very proud of you, my friend, so thank you. Thank you for writing this. And keep an eye out for Matt's work. He has more coming down the pipe, and it's going to be amazing. And what's it called? It's called Coming Down the Pipe. TBD? Yes. I do every time. But you're not going to tell the title now. No. It's like opening a Christmas present early. All right, I'm giving you your book back. Yes. All right. Well, Matt, you took that embarrassing thing very well just now. Mazel tov. Whose turn is it? It's your turn?
Hello. I would like to know what your cheesiest pickup line is.
How old are you? Hi.
My question is, if Cass had to write a song, what song would he sing?
If Cass had to write a song,
What would he write about?
what would he write about? That's a great question. What do you think Cass would write about? And also, I have to admit right now, I'm having a little bit of a challenging time with the hypothetical because I can't quite imagine the scenario under which someone is forced to write a song. How do you find yourself painted into that corner?
Well, I was just curious, because I wrote a song for you, but I was just curious if Cass had to write a song, what he would write.
You wrote a song for me? What? Are you gonna sing it or what?
Did you?
No, I don't think you should. Should you sing it? Sing a few bars. I'm saying no because I'm afraid this is going to be horribly embarrassing, but start singing it.
He's not
I
coming. I
don't
just
know
need one of
just
his
how you feel. The world stands still, filled with fear. The days burn bright, when the nights burn cold. Just keep on fighting and go for gold. 'Cause you're broken, you're beaten, you're damaged slow. You feel lonely, empty, you're so unsure. But in this world, there's someone here to help dry your tears.
That was amazing. That was amazing. I really expected you to sing something horribly off-key, to embarrass both yourself and me, but that was truly amazing. You should be writing and things for major stars. Like, you should be writing stuff that's selling triple platinum and singing it yourself. That's awesome. How old are you? Hi. Hi. Hi, Haley. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm great, thank you for asking.
My question is, do you have any strange hidden talents or weird party tricks?
Yes, I do.
Can you show us?
Well, I'm very flexible. But I'm not going to show you that. Two, I can make a flower with my tongue. You can't see it because I'm too far away. My thumb is double jointed. It's kind of gross and it just looks weird. I can scratch my frontal lobe through my nostril. That's not actually true. I can't do that. But that would be impressive, wouldn't it? What are your tricks?
It's really gross.
Okay, great. What is it?
Still want to know?
Can't wait to see it. Does it have to do with the rectum? Because if so, no. Okay, what is your trick?
I can dislocate almost every major joint.
Yes, of course, we want to see that.
Yeah?
Yeah, come on up. Can I ask you before you do this, does it cause any permanent damage when you do this? Okay, go ahead. Yes. Putting my fingers in my ears didn't help. Okay, let me see the shoulder. I do it? That is such a weird sensation. That's pretty awesome. Good for you. I'd hug you, but I think it'd creep me out. Thank you. I feel like we're in some old-time, like, vaudeville freak show right now. This is fantastic. Hi, what weird stuff can you do? What are your hidden talents that we don't know about?
Okay. My best friend is the one who sang before. She's 19, by the way.
Okay. Nice.
Also, you're a beautiful person, but that's besides the point.
No, but good on the compliment thing. That's nice, thank you.
In what ways has being on Supernatural changed your life and who you are?
In what ways has being on Supernatural changed my life and who I am? In multitudinous ways. I feel like my life is entirely different now that I'm on, since I've been on Supernatural, and in most ways for the better. I was just speaking with my friend Matt backstage and lamenting one aspect of how life has changed, which is that I don't feel like I have quite as much space and time in my life to really get into deep contemplative creative work like I used to. So that's sort of a struggle for me. I have to work hard now to carve that time out, and it can be frustrating because of smartphones and email and other distractions. And Twitter, exactly.
Donald Trump.
And Donald Trump. Donald Trump has changed my life, of course, more than being on Supernatural has. But, so that's the sort of downside, if I'm going to start with the bad news first. But the good news is that I feel like I have so many opportunities to do cool things with amazingly creative people, and you know, this playground of this fandom has been amazing to collaborate with. Doing things like Gishwiz has been immensely enriching and rewarding, and hilarious. I love watching people humiliate themselves, and it's been incredibly gratifying to, you know, start Random Acts and see all the amazing stuff that you guys have done with that, and the volunteers at Random Acts have done. And what else? What else has changed? I don't know. I've had kids since being. That's not. That's what's the phrase? Correlation is not causality. I don't think that I have children because I got the role on Supernatural, but I do have children now, and that changes your life too. So it's a little bit hard to isolate the variables. But my kids are, they're changing my life too. So maybe they're partly responsible for the not so much space and creative time. But they're fun, so it's Supernatural. I don't know. I'm gonna try to stop talking right now. Thank you.
Is it on? Oh. Hi, I'm Juliet.
Hi.
I was wondering if Castiel could ask God one question, what would it be?
Where have you been? But we're gonna get some interesting kind of God-related stuff this season. Now I'm trying to remember if that was on the list of things that I'm not supposed to talk about, or the list of things that I was supposed to talk about. I may be getting a phone call on Monday morning. Hi.
Oh, hi! Sorry. It's weird hearing my voice. Okay. Oh, yeah, sorry. Can you come up with a Dish West item that you and I, or just, I don't really care, can do right now?
Oh, you would like to do a scavenger hunt item right now?
Yeah, sure.
That's a great idea.
You should do it.
Why don't you write a song for Castiel? And I'll get back to you before the end of this panel and have you sing it for all of us.
Okay.
Great. Hi.
Hi, I'm Carly.
Did you say Courtney?
Carly.
Carly. Hi, Carly. Where are you from?
Berlin, Connecticut.
Where in Connecticut?
Berlin.
Berlin. Where's Berlin?
It's in by Hartford. It's in the center of Connecticut.
Okay, I know where Hartford is. I used to live north of there, just up the 91. Not the 91. What do we say here on the East Coast? I can't believe I've been on the West Coast that long. Up Route 91?
Yeah.
Okay. What? One at a time, please. I can't understand you when you speak. Up 91, up 91. Thank you.
My question for you is...
Yes, you don't want to talk about highways anymore? That's fine, I guess we have different interests. That's fine, if you want to go in a different direction, we can. What's your favorite highway, though, in New England? If you had to pick one highway to say, you were going to only be on that highway for the rest of your life, which one would it be?
None.
None?
Yeah.
That wasn't an option. It's not an option, it's not fair. Don't mess with my hypothetical questions. All right, what's your question, Carly?
Where do you think angels go when they die?
Okay, so this is, I think, maybe something that hasn't really been answered in the canon of the show, because obviously when humans die, they either go to heaven, hell, or purgatory, or they actually can get stuck, I guess, as a ghost in some sort of liminal status. There is, however, of course, the problem of angels, because you would assume that an angel would go to heaven when they die, except for that that's where they were already. So where do they go when they die? We haven't addressed this specifically in the show, so the audience doesn't know, but I think that they go into canned food. Yes.
So if you had to kill off one character on the show and replace him with a character from another TV show, who would you kill off and who would you replace him with and why?
I would not kill off Metatron. No, he's my driving buddy. Who would I kill off on the show? That's a tricky question to answer because most of the people who are on the show are friends of mine and they would get mad at me for suggesting killing their characters. But it could be interesting, I'll sort of throw myself on the sword here and say it could be interesting to kill Castiel. Hear me out. I have a good solution. And replace him with the star of The Apprentice, Donald Trump. Could be kind of interesting. Castiel would stop, being that sort of stone-faced thing, and he'd start going, "Come on, Dee." It might be nice to see him emote a little more, So it would be refreshing, I would say. And also, can you imagine him flying, with that hair? It would be amazing. So dynamic. Everyone would be like, man, I can't believe we put up with that old Castiel for so long. This new guy is amazing. The jowls sort of flapping in the wind, the hair back. What? Yes, a rich Castiel for a change. The boys would have no problem. They could be like, fuck, why drive? Let's take a private jet, dude. They could solve so many more crimes. You think of how much time the Winchesters waste driving around in an antique car? They're like, dude, I just read about this thing. It's all the way across the country. Hop in the car.
How do they get there with no
Totally inefficient. Like terrible. Private jet. Castiel. What? I feel like the structure of the event is devolving here, guys. I can't understand you. Whose turn? You asked the Donald Trump question, and then now it's your turn. Hi.
Hi, I'm Olivia.
Hi, Olivia.
Hi. I was just curious, what's your favorite song to sing in the shower?
That is a great question. I don't know that I sing in the shower. I know that that's sort of embarrassing to admit, but I don't think I do. That you know of. And I feel like this is a good way to dodge the question because I don't want to tell you that I'm singing, why are there so many songs about rainbows in the shower? Is that your song too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I knew it. Hi.
Hi, Misha.
What's your name, sir?
Mike,
Mike. Where are you from?
New Jersey.
New Jersey. I've heard of New Jersey. Is this your first convention?
Yes.
And what do you think so far?
It's fun.
It's fun?
Yes.
Okay. What in your opinion, what could be done to improve it? Should we have like ice cream being passed around all the time? Yeah. Anything else along those lines? We can put in suggestions if you have stuff.
Sam and Dean should be here every day.
Sandwiches too?
Sam and Dean.
Oh, Sam and Dean. Yes.
Jensen and Jared.
Could we have, so Jared and Jensen, the guys that play Sam and Dean, they're only available on Sunday, but maybe we could have some surrogates replace them on Saturday. It would be pretty good, right? That's Osric?
He's dressed as Jared today.
Oh, he's Osric cosplaying as Nice.
His stilts.
He has stilts?
Yeah. A wig. And a hat.
Oh, he looks so
He really does go the extra mile, that guy. How do you put up with the lackluster sort of phoning it in that the rest of us do? This guy is putting in an effort here, people. He came in stilts. Try to show that you care a little bit, other actors. All right, Mike, I'm sorry, we got sidetracked.
My question is, do you think Kevin's mom is hot?
Let's just say that I have uttered the words, oh mama, to Mama Tran many times. Yes. Do you think that, okay, hold on, before we go any further, how old are you, Mike?
I'm too young for you, big boy.
You win this round, Mike. I'll get you next year.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
good. How are you?
I'm excellent, thank you.
I was wondering if you could be.
This will go down in history as that was the event where we realized that Misha was a creepy pedophile. That was the last event that he ever attended. Creation's gonna have a big canceled due to unforeseen circumstances. Misha no longer legally allowed to attend. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, how are you?
Good.
Good.
I was wondering if you could be anybody alive or dead, who would it be and what would
Oh,
you say?
definitely alive.
Who would it be and what would you say to them?
Wait, so I'm gonna be the person and then I'm gonna talk. Wait, so I'm gonna be either a dead.
No, like.
Oh, hold on. I'm working it out.
No.
So hypothetically, I could be a dead person talking to myself.
No, but like if it was like a dead person would be alive, you would be like meeting with them, like having dinner with them, something like
Oh,
that.
I'm meeting them, not being them.
Yeah.
Okay, great. But hypothetically, okay, I think I know what you mean. So, like for instance, I could find like Jesus's remains and speak to his like fragments of shroud and bones and stuff and talk to them.
If that works for you, then sure.
Okay. Wow, that is a really intense question.
I know.
And one that I should have an answer for, don't you think? What? Donald Trump is not the correct answer, believe it or not. Although I have to say, I am quite enamored of our new Pope. And I had an experience that I have never, I don't think I've ever had before, which was, being in New York at the same time that he was in New York, going for a run yesterday. We got the World Trade Center. Shut up. You saw him? I'm so jealous. So I was running around the World Trade Center and everything was cordoned off and the security guys were like, I was like, is there any way to go in to see the memorial? And they were like, no, nobody's getting anywhere near, no one's getting anywhere near that fucking thing with the Pope around. That's what the cop said to me. And so, but I actually lingered because there were a lot of people pressed up against these barricades along the street, and I think that there was some indication that the Pope was going to be coming through somewhat soon. And I was like, oh, maybe I get to see the Pope. So I might say Pope Francis, alive, and I would probably try to act cool. So I'd say something like, well, what's up? How are you? First time in New York? Something like that. I try to keep it down low, casual. Just so that he wouldn't think I was nervous or something. What? How old are you? I would say to him. Hi. Hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Excellent, thank you for asking.
I just wanted to know, where were you when you found out that you and Jensen won the Teen Choice Award, and did you ever expect to win that with him?
Well, thank you. I kind of, not to, I don't know, I guess this sort of betrays a little bit of an overblown ego on my part, but I kind of did expect to win the Teen Choice Award. I mean, I'm over 40 now, and it seems obvious that I would now be winning the Teen Choice Award. I'm kind of, and so, Jensen's pushing 40. We're kind of prime demographic for the Teen Choice Award. I wonder what portion of the people that were voting in the Teen Choice Awards were under the age of 40 for the Dean cast parent. But we were very, very happy. We immediately ran out and found a sunset and took a picture in front of it to celebrate. Hi.
Hi, my name is Sophia.
Hi, Sophia.
And I was wondering, Castiel made a lot of mistakes when he was God, but if he were able to redo it, how do you think him being human would affect his decisions?
That is a very sophisticated question. I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I've definitely never thought about that before. I think that Cass was a bit, he was a bit cold and calculating as God, and I think that he might have had a little bit more empathy as an overarching decision-making tool in his quiver, so to speak, when he was, that was a lot of different sort of metaphors crammed in one awkward package, but yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I was wondering, obviously Cass is an angel, but if he had originally been born as a human, what do you think he'd be doing with his life, and would he still have teamed up with the Winchesters?
I think that Cass probably, if Cass was born human and were not an angel at any point in his career, I think that he would probably be some sort of a physical therapist. Which, by the way, would be great for the boys to have on staff, because you notice that they are constantly getting the shit kicked out of them, right? And they're also, you know, now they're getting on in years, they're probably not healing up as fast as they used to, and they could definitely use the services of somebody who's gonna, you know, help them get their shoulder back in alignment, tell them to, you know, take a rest, give them a massage. What? Wait, what? Master Chow, yes, helping them deal with problems like Master Chow. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Hi.
Hi, Mr. Collins.
Hello, and thank you for that formal form of address.
First, I want to say thank you for being my inspiration in life.
Oh my God.
And my question is, on Thanksgiving, I plan to be making pasta with jam sauce. So, I want to know.
Well, luckily there's plenty of advance warning right now, so you can change your plans. Don't make pasta with jam sauce. It's horrible. It's so bad. I actually just had a moment of completely not rational panic, where I thought, that's really funny. I just thought, oh shit, I hope West is not watching this. Because I thought, oh, people are like recording this, and then it's on the internet. West doesn't go on the internet. He's not watching this. It's fine. I can say pasta with jam sauce is not tasty. And by the time he does see that, when he's older, he'll be okay with it, because he'll also know that it's not tasty. Yeah. We do. No, that was a one-off thing. If those of you who haven't seen Cooking Fast and Fresh with West Thanksgiving edition, you don't know what we're talking about, but it is a very short internet video in which me and my son are set out to prepare a Thanksgiving feast. And I tell him what traditionally Americans eat for Thanksgiving, and I say, so what do you want to make? And he says, pasta with jam sauce. And I was fully expecting him to say something like, well, let's do the turkey and the stuffing. But he didn't go that route. He went pasta and jam sauce. And it was truly a vile experience. And cleanup took about a week. It was amazing. He's gotten into this thing lately where we get up and we're usually the first ones up and we go downstairs to make breakfast, but we try to make a breakfast that no one has ever made before, which just means a really ridiculously unsavory combination of ingredients that's disgusting, and that I have to go, this is really yummy, I can't believe you invented this. So I actually have started to not look forward to breakfast for that reason. I feel compelled to eat it, and it's really gross. It reminds me, I went over to this woman's house. I was working on a movie in Maine many years ago, and yes, Maine? Yes. I love your state so much. I got married in Maine. My brother got married in Maine. I love it. I had, however, this very bad experience in Maine, which is I went over to, I was working on this island in Maine, and this woman was letting me, I had a lot of time off, and this woman was letting me use her jewelry making shop to do some experimenting with jewelry making, and she was very sweet, but widowed and lonely and eager for some company. She was in her late 70s, and she invited me over for dinner. And I went over for dinner, and she had made me this sort of baked ground turkey patties, but she had been drinking quite heavily, and it was not even browned on the outside. It was just basically raw, warm turkey patties. And I felt too rude to not eat it. So I ate this big mound of raw turkey. And then, I don't know what's wrong with me. And then she was like, would you like some more? And I was like, I felt so bad for her that I had seconds. Anyway, I kind of in a weird way am reliving that same sort of codependent dynamic with my brother. I mean, not my brother, my son. Things are obviously getting mixed up in my head, but I should probably start saying, you know, this is not to my taste, but thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm very honored to talk to you.
I'm honored to talk to you as well. Very nice to meet you. Bye.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, Misha. My name is Nicole. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah.
I was wondering, what was the hardest scene for you to shoot as Castiel?
That's a good... What's that? When Dean tried to kill me? No, that wasn't very hard. No, the hardest scenes to shoot have been scenes that had one of my co-stars, his name is Jared Padalecki. Actually, the very hardest scenes to shoot have been scenes that have both Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles in them, because somehow they just egg each other on. The French Mistake? No, it wasn't the French Mistake. It was the Valentine's Day one, the Cupid one. What's that called? My Bloody Valentine. There was a scene in that episode that just burned me up, and it left me feeling like I had no friends. So there was a little table. It was a table like this, and it was a medical examiner's table, and there was a heart that we were examining on the table. And Jared and Jensen were standing here, and this is Jared, and this is Jensen. And I approached the table like this, and I am talking and delivering dialogue at this point. And the camera is over their shoulders, so it's not looking at their faces or their bodies, it's just looking at me at this point. And every time I would come up to the counter, Jared had a broom handle that was under here and in my crotch, and he was just fiddling like this. And I couldn't keep it together. It was incredibly frustrating. And the director in the other room was like, Misha, what's going on? Because all he sees is me going, laughing like an asshole, right? So he's like, come on, we're way behind. Get serious, Misha. And then the assistant director removed the broom from Jared's hand, mercifully. But then I come up to the table and Jared does this. And of course, the camera is back here and just sees a stationary, back half of one of his long flowing hair. Doesn't see any of the action. Director again, Misha, come on. And so then Jensen, God bless him, said, Misha, just don't even look at him. Look at me. And I was like, oh, thank you for throwing me that lifeline. There is a safe space here, isn't there? And I walk up to the table delivering my line, and Jensen goes, It's horrible when you just over and over and over, you can't get your lines out. And the worst part really is the director. And it's not just the director, by the way. It's not just the director. It's everybody down in LA in post-production. They're looking at the material and they're thinking, God damn it, what is wrong with this Misha character? He just can't pull his shit together. Next time, let's make sure that they have experience acting before we hire them, because this is ridiculous.
You're the only one that went to acting school.
What?
And you get pie in your face several times.
I did get pie in my face. I've had a lot of traumatic experiences. I could easily see myself just sort of rocking back and forth in a padded cell. And like, so tell us again about what happened. You walked through the door and what hit you in the face?
That's what you get for going to acting
PTSD,
school.
bad PTSD from working on Supernatural. Okay, I wish you hadn't brought this up.
Thank you so much.
Hi.
Hi, my name's Veronica.
Cynthia.
Hi. Hello, Veronica and Cynthia. Are you related to each other?
What?
Are you related?
Related? No.
No.
We just met here.
Oh, you just met?
Yeah.
But you're already a couple. That's great.
We were asked actually if we were sisters just now.
I've asked you twice now?
No, actually somebody else, the person in front of us asked if we were sisters.
Oh, really? Do you think it's possible that you might be? Something to look into. Yes?
Okay, so my question is, what do you think is Castiel's definition of happiness?
And based on that, if Castiel had a heaven, what would it be like?
Well, we actually know the answer to this question. I hate to nerd out on you here, but Cass's idea of heaven is sort of like an open field around an old mansion. Right?
No, we prefer
and an old man and a man in his 50s flying a kite.
Right. An autistic boy.
What?
A Tuesday of an autistic.
It's an autistic man flying a kite on a Tuesday. Is that right?
Yes.
Boom! Look at that. And that was an episode for this round. Hi. Bye, guys. You should seriously consider getting a genetic test of some sort. How are you?
Hi, Misha. If you could be any animal, what animal would it be and why?
Now, let me ask you a question before we go any further here. What is with all of these hypothetical questions today? Was there like a mandate, like, guys, it's New York, let's show them some good hypothetical questions? If I could be any animal, what would it be? I would be a naked mole rat. Because as far as I know, it's the only animal that has naked in its name, and because its skin is translucent, and because the naked mole rat begs feces off of its colony mates.
That sounds awesome. That's
Thank you, Misha.
Thank you. I feel like what I'm trying to do is punishing people for asking hypothetical questions. Ask me a non-hypothetical question. And if you've come to the microphone with a hypothetical question in mind, I challenge you to ask something else. Anything else. Hi, Georges. Hi. Good start. I like you already. This is good.
Between you and John Barrowman, who has bluer eyes?
This is not hypothetical. This is anatomical. So good on you. Does John Barrowman have blue eyes?
Yes.
Are his eyes bluer than mine?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you.
I see. I would probably say that John has bluer eyes than I do. But that he has enhanced his eyes with contacts. And then, in fact, if you were to remove those contacts, naturally I would have bluer eyes. But I will check the next time that I'm in close proximity with him, and we'll get to the bottom of this, because I feel like it's a pressing question.
Thank you.
A lot hangs in the balance. Thank you very much. Take care. Hi.
Hi, I was just wondering, because I just started like acting and stuff, and I was wondering how you usually prepare for playing Castiel.
Well, that's a great question, and thank you for asking.
When I start, now that I've been playing Castiel for a long time, it feels like there's not a lot of thinking that goes into it, and I like to think that that shows in my performance. We've all been playing the characters that we've been playing for so long now on the show that I think that a lot of the inherent qualities of the characters feel pretty natural at this point. I did notice though, I was playing something other than Castiel recently. What was it? What? Jimmy, thank you. I literally did forget. I was playing Jimmy last season, and I got on set and we started rolling, and I was like, oh my god, I don't know how to act anymore because I've been doing Castiel for so long. That's all I can do. I'm broken. But when I was getting into the character, I did a lot of things. I just kind of tried to. I was, I think, a little bit nerdy about it, and this is not something that I would confide in my fellow actors because it's a funny thing when you're on a set on a TV show. Nobody talks about the technique of acting. It's like a verboten subject. You do not talk about your methodology as an actor. It's considered very uncool. Everyone tries to give the appearance. They don't fucking do anything. They just show up and it comes out naturally. And they would never let on that they're doing anything else. And every once in a while we'll have a guest star on the show who starts going, like you can hear them in their room going, bo-da-dee-da-do, bo-da-dee-da-do, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. And everybody's like, look at this jack off. Actually using skills that he learned to do this. But if I'm being honest, I did a lot of sort of thinking about what kind of music would he listen to do, and I spent some time actually, I climbed a mountain and was sort of sitting on a rocky cliff's edge and overlooking this town and kind of thinking to myself, this is actually a little embarrassing even a bit to non-actors, and I sat up there and sort of looked down at this little village and thought, this is Castiel's perspective on humanity until he comes down and meets Sam and Dean for the first time, and stuff like that. But for me, a lot of acting comes down to like vocalization and physicality. When a pattern of speech or how I use my voice or body feels natural for a character, then the character kind of falls in place a little bit for me. That's not how a lot of people work, but that's how I phoned it in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Are you acting in school, or are you?
I've been taking acting classes at the Walnut Street Theater in Philadelphia.
Awesome. Well, good luck. Hopefully we'll see you on Supernatural, maybe 5, maybe 10 years from now, you could guest star in Supernatural.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. My name's Ruby, not the demon.
Oh, okay. Good. You didn't look like this. That's good.
I have a really serious question, so you might want to take some time to answer it.
I'll take a seat.
Yeah. What's your favorite Taylor Swift song?
Because we were singing it last night, I think it has to be Shake It Off. Also because that's the only one I can think of. So by default, it's what you get. There are probably other better songs though, right? No? Really? That's too bad. Hi, 5 minutes, guys. Let's get fast.
Hi Misha, I'm Stephanie.
Hi Stephanie.
Hi, I was wondering, so we all know that Castiel's official outfit on the show is his suit with his trench coat, and I was wondering if you could go back to when Castiel first came on the show, and you got to pick what his outfit would be throughout the whole series, what would it be? Like, if it could be anything, what would you change it to?
Do you know the movie Big Lebowski? No, you don't?
What?
You don't know the Big Lebowski? You go home and watch that movie right now, young woman. How old are you?
20.
So there's a character in The Big Lebowski, his name is Jesus.
And his wardrobe is definitely what I wish Castiel were wearing for 8 years. It's a very, very, very tight fitting, kind of red unitard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi, my name is Juliet, and I just wanted to quickly say I was at Comic-Con, and thank you for the pizza and the high five. And my question
You're
is,
very welcome for that.
My question is, what is it like to hear how much this show means to people and how it's helped people through really tough times?
Thank you for that question. I definitely did not expect anything like that to happen when I joined the show. And if you were on the set of the show while we're shooting, you would never think that that's the outcome of what we're producing. Because in all seriousness, we're spending most of the time tickling each other's balls with broom handles and laughing and being silly and making inappropriate jokes and enjoying ourselves and the camaraderie of one another. It's a really great, very fun environment to be in. And I don't think while we're making it, we're thinking, wow, this has got to be really impacting someone out there who's watching it. And so for us, it's incredibly gratifying to get to come to these kinds of events and meet people in person or see things online where people have had profound experiences with this show. And I think that it is a lot of, I think it's a lot of what keeps us going and keeps us wanting to do the show. That gives us an immense satisfaction. I think that if it were, and of course it is at times, I'm sure at most times, it's a mindless distraction and entertainment, but the fact that it has a deeper impact on people from time to time means a great deal to all of us, I know. And it's a big part of why we love coming to these events. So thank you guys. And in all honesty, I don't think that the show would still be on the air if it weren't for this community that has coalesced around the show. You guys and your support and your enthusiasm and your passion and your emotional investment in the show is absolutely what has kept it alive all these years. So, thank you. I can say, in all honesty, that I probably would not be getting my balls tickled on a regular basis if it weren't for you guys. So, thank you.
You don't know that for sure.
What's up?
I know a lot of ball ticklers that would...
You do know some? They can do it on the side?
Yeah.
Don't just call me out like that.
Maybe there's another. Turns out Rob thinks there might be another solution for me, which is good news. Do we have, are we done? Is this it?
It's whenever you want to be, man.
Yeah, are you waving or are you saying one more? One more, okay, one more question.
What? Oh, okay. I'm a girl who you told to write a song.
Oh my God! I am not, but please don't be shy down there in the wings. Get your ass up here. It's a whole ensemble. This is fantastic. Oh, wow. Wow, hi. So what key are we going to be doing this in?
I'd be nervous.
Here, we can adjust.
Oh, she brought the uke.
There you go.
Here,
you know what? That was incredibly rude. The redhead gets up here and like, I'm sorry, I'm so short. And next to her is this other woman who's not as tall. So, that's a C. We're doing a C. Keep C. I think you're gonna have to share this.
Okay. Wait, you're very tall, just so you know. Yeah, no problem. Are we doing this? Got it.
just a big machine. No one has to know what you show. Toy soldiers, arms, little things, feathers of angel wings. Your names are carved onto my back door. Footprints will always remain on my floor. Says families don't end with blood. We'll stay together like we always would. Oh, 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 we still have many places to go.